What is up, guys? Sunny Dragon here, welcoming you to my first video, the WWDL draft analysis. The WWDL is a league that I host, and it's just starting, so I think this will be kind of fun. There isn't much really to say about it, other than it's a GBA style draft. 11 mons, a tier 1, a tier 2, 2 tier 3s, a tier 4 and a tier 5, a mega, and then you have 400 free points to draft whatever you like. So there's that. This video is mostly just going to be what I drafted, my ideas behind my draft, a few mods I would like to talk about, some specific sets, and just kind of complain about the mods I got sniped on. That's about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I had the luxury of actually getting the 4th pick all around, meaning I was one of the first few people to draft first. So I had a really good chance of getting the mega I wanted, and that was actually Megalatios. Sadly, Megalatios was banned. Otherwise, I would have picked up Latios any day over Latios. Sorry, Latios. The Stolly bulk Latios is just too good to pass up when I have both. So I picked up Latios. There isn't really much. Actually, okay, who am I kidding? There's so much to talk about Latios. Really great mon. The mega is pretty powerful. As you can see the stats right now, 130 attack, 160 special attack, 120 special defense, and 110 speed. This mega is pretty powerful. Really good defenses. This is a wall breaker every day. Look, I mean, that special attack set is so high. Really nice outspeed. Base 110 makes it outspeed a lot of the base 100s. I can easily speed creep them with getting a few, I think it's like 48 EVs in HP or any defense, which is really nice if I have to speed creep those. Guard Chomp isn't too much of a big worry, or Galvantron or any of the others. Base 100s are slightly over base 100, which is really nice. Mega Latios is pretty great, being can either be a calm mind setter, a sweeper, and just sit there and eat days, or it can be a Dragon Dance setup sweeper and just click Dragon Dance 1 or 2 times and just completely wreck their teams with moves like Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Outrage, but like it's also pretty powerful special side with Draco, Ice Beam, Psychic, Psyshock. Really nice since it gets Recover. And also Latios gets also Defog, which is pretty nice. I also get Roost, so like it's not like this mega is pretty weak. It's very versatile. It can be offensive either if it needs to be. It can be defensive. I'm probably not going to ever run it defensive or fully defensive. Maybe I might, probably not. I have sustain. I can sustain myself. It's really great coverage. Ghost, water, flying, psychic, dragon, ice, electric. So it's like pretty great, really strong moves. And to be honest, a lot of people may disagree with me, but I feel like this is a really good mega to start off with. And to an extent, Latios is pretty easy to build a team around. So I had to wait another 24 turns since this is a 16-person draft. So I had to wait a few turns. And by the time I came up to my turn, I could have easily grabbed my tier 1 met right then and there. But I was thinking, well, I could do that, but looking at my conference and my division, since we already got those out, my division looks pretty scary. In my division, I already have a Latios and a Kyurem Black and a Latias. So it's pretty scary. And by this time, I'm like, I need a good, before anyone else picks up in my conference, I need to pick up Mamoswine. It may not be a round two pick, but it's a really good counter to Latios or any dragon, and I really wanted to grab it. Plus that, I love using Mamoswine. Pretty great stats. It's really powerful attack stats, same as a Mega Latios. Sorry, and it just hits hard. I can go Assault Vest if need be. I can go Choice Band, Choice Scarf. I can go Focus Sash with rocks. I can go Leftovers with some bulk. I can go Life Orb. I can go Expert Belt if I don't want the recoil of a Life Orb. I get Thick Fat, so fire isn't as big of a deal. It's neutral now, but it still kind of hurts. Ice is resisted, which is really nice. I get Stab Earthquake, and it's pretty much kind of like a nuke move. It's not obviously not the strongest, but it's still a nuke move. I get really great access to ice moves. I get Freeze Dry, great for those water types. I get Ice Shard, Ice Skull Crash, which is pretty great. I get access to Knock Off, Iron Head, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Super Power, which is really good coverage, as well as getting Stealth Rocks, which is pretty nice. So I was thinking, I already have offensive core. I kind of want to go on a defensive side. And one of the best defensive things was a water type. And a lot of the water types are already going. So I was like, I can probably wait until round 4 to grab it. But I'm pretty sure, since this is already going on the way back, so I have to wait another 24 turns before it's my turn again to draft. I was like, I'm pretty scared. I'm going to go pick up my water type now, and I'm going to pick up Tentacruel. I'm going to probably lose a lot of the tier 3s and tier 2s that I wanted, but this way I can keep a water type. As well as being a poison type, I have an immunity to toxic. Toxic spikes don't bother me as much. I have a way to deal with fairy types, which is pretty nice. Leech Seed doesn't bother me with Liquid Ooze. Rain teams, if they ever were drafted, I have some ability to deal with it. And from here, I get really nice moves being Scald, Sludge Bomb, which are pretty great. I also get access to Rapid Spin, which makes Tentacruel better than some of the other bulky water types like Melodic, Vaporeon, Suicune to a degree. I also get Haze, Giga Drain, which is pretty nice coverage, Dazzling Gleam. Haze being really good for those setup sweepers like Dragonite, like Garchomp, like Feraligatr, like Salamence. I could Ice Beam them, but I mean, even for like mons like Cress, I can just Haze. I get 100% accurate Toxics, which is really nice. I get access to Knock Off, Magic Coat and Mirror Coat, so I can be absurdly annoying. So no Steel types, no Psychic types really scare me as much because they could probably kill themselves with their own moves with a Mirror Coat, which is kind of nice. So Tentacruel there isn't much to really talk about. Tentacruel, just a really great wall. Also, Tentacruel surprisingly has a base 100 speed, so if I ever want to be cheeky, I can always go and bring an offensive Tentacruel, which is pretty nice. I think that might be kind of interesting. I'm not sure how that would work out. May or may not bring it, but I think the idea is pretty nice. At this point, I waited another 24 turns, and I was like, okay, this is kind of stupid. I'm picking my tier 1 now. I'm looking back at it, I'm thinking I could have easily gotten this round 6. The way the draft was going, I could have grabbed this round 6. But I didn't, and I decided to grab it tier 4. I mean, wow, I'm so bad at this. Round 4, and I picked up Tornadus Therian. Tornadus Therian was actually the mon I built this team around. I wanted to use Tornadus before Sun Moon came out. I wanted to see how well it worked in this meta, and I finally grabbed the chance. I finally got the chance to use it, but I risked it. But I'm okay with it since I still got it. Really great. It's very versatile, kind of like Galadios. Has access to a really good Assault Vest user, especially with Regenerator. I can go with a choice scarf if I need be to outspeed those other scarfers that pose my team a problem. Leftovers Life Orb is an annoyance because of Regenerator, which is a really great ability. I get Air Slash, Brick Break, Crunch, Dark Pulse, Extrasensory, Focus Blast, Earth, Grass Knot, Hammer. The list goes on and on of the great coverage sets. This thing gets Fire from Heat Wave, Hurricane, Stab, Hurricane, Knockoffs, Psychic, Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, Super Power, U-Turn. So, like, offensively, Tornadus can hit pretty much everything. I also get X Taunt, Toxic, Tailwind, which is really nice. Like, Tailwind. And by this point, I was planning on grabbing Galvantula. Sadly, it goes the round I wanted in round 4. So I lose it, but I was like, oh well. Tailwind. I still have Tailwind support if I ever want it. Stat-wise, this thing is the fastest thing on my team so far. And fastest thing in my division, which is pretty great as of right now. Same in my conference. It has a very unique speed tier. It's outspeeding a lot of these base 100s and a base 110s like Mega Latios. I know Mega Diancie was drafted in my division, so I definitely outspeed it. I outspeed a lot of these base 115s, base 120s. I lose out, I think, to a Greninja. Thankfully, I'm pretty positive it was not drafted in my conference. I'll have to check on that. But, like, I have the fastest speed tier so far, as of right now, which I'm pretty happy with. As of right now, I'm pretty fast. I also have priority with Mamoswine, which is really nice. 5th round, I was already coming back. And to be honest, I don't really know why I did this, but I did. I was pressured, I don't know why I did it, but I was pressured to pick up Cofagrigus, however you'd like to call it. A lot of people wanted it, and to be honest, I don't really like using it, because to me it's like a miniature Cress, and I've used Cress before. As much as I love it and how much it walls, to me it's really confusing because of its defenses. I don't really know what to prep for, but it's a really great mod. I'm not too upset about grabbing it. Obviously, grabbing a tier 5 this early is pretty surprising. I mean, I think in this draft, we've had a tier 5 go in round 3, so I was like, it's not that bad or big of a deal, but it's quite interesting. Although a lot of people this round wanted Cofag, and the second I drafted, I got so many PMs about, like, trade already, which is quite surprising. Another good thing I'm realizing as I'm doing this video is that with Mummy, it completely shuts down Tornadus's Regenerator. So, like, this way, I don't get a Cofag used against me, and I lose a Regenerator, which is pretty nice. There isn't much really to talk about Cofag, other being an absurdly wall, getting access to Haze, Hex, Toxic, Willow, Knockoff, another Magic Coat user. This gets Toxic Spikes as well, which is pretty nice. So, Calm Mind Sweeper, guys. Week 1 to Calm Mind Sweeper. Better watch it. It's not going to happen, guys. Sorry. Cofag, pretty great. I don't really know what I'm thinking about it so far. I want to use it for a few weeks, see it. I'm not so sure if I'm going to keep it all season long, definitely, but I'm pretty happy with it as of right now. My next pick, which is really weird since I just picked up a ghost type being a spin blocker, I grab the best spin blocker in tier 5 being Gourgeist. In this league, the rules are stating if you draft a Gourgeist, you get all the Gourgeist forms. So I get all of these. Small being really good, being a Scarf Tricker. Super being an absurdly great defensive tank. Better offensive, which is really nice. I'm probably going to use the larger super size the most. Again, it's another spin blocker. Although this one I like slightly more since this is the grass type as well. A little bit more manageable in my head. This gets access to Destiny Bond Disable, which is really nice for those obnoxious moves, which is really nice. Gets foul play, which is really great for any physical attack or boring fighting types and other dark types. Leech Seed, really great for mons like Suicune, Melodic, things that just like to sit in there and do nothing. And the only real way to kill them is with Toxic. Leech Seed helps with that. Pain Split, which is a good form of recovery. Synthesis, another good form of recovery. Shadow Ball, Seed Bomb, Shadow Sneak, really great Seed Bomb. I already said Seed Bomb. Sludge Bomb, being all really great moves. I get Trick, Toxic, Will-O-Wisp. I also get, what's the word? I get Fire Blast, Flamethrower if I need be. Pretty terrible special attack, but I mean, I think this is enough to kill a Ferrothorn. That's enough to kill a Ferrothorn. So it's pretty great. So Gourgeist, funny story is this is actually the third season I'm drafting Gourgeist. Pretty happy with it. Really love this pumpkin. So far, it hasn't let me down yet. Pretty happy with it. So my next pick, which is my 7th pick, I decided to finish off my Firewater Grass core and picking up Emboar. There was a few other fire types, not a lot, that were helpful to my team. I know Darmanitan went the 2 turns before Emboar did, so it was quite interesting. Really great banded user with Reckless, Flare Blitz, Head Smash, Wild Charge. I think it's Super Power that I'm pretty sure it's Super Power that, because I don't think Ember gets close combat. Super Power, yes, Super Power. So really great Reckless user. Banded Reckless off a 123 attack is pretty obnoxious, especially since it's a fire type. It's going to be killing something sometime. Pretty respectable special attacks. Has great special attack against Grass Knot, gets Scald for God knows why it does. Iron Head, Low Kick, Overheat, Poison Jab, Rockside, Stone Edge, Super Power, Thunder Punch, Willow, Zen Headbutt. Like, again, another really versatile moveset wise, which is really great. It could be a Scarfer, Banded, Life Orb. Really great mon. This thing gets Earthquake. Like, I mean, the coverage this thing gets is never ending, which is really nice. After this, I go back to back on my fighting types and I grab a Medicham, the one and only Medicham. Honestly, I grabbed this for a few reasons. I did have Skarmory and Kieran Black in my division, and board does deal good damage to them. Although I was kind of afraid of speed tier wise, I felt like Medicham might have been helpful because Medicham can be the better Scarfer or better Banded in certain situations because it has a really nice speed tier. If I can get a Tailwind or get this agility or anything up, I'm pretty sure this gets no, it doesn't get. Gets Acupressure. Acupressure Medicham. That's quite interesting. I did not know that. So, if I get speed on Medicham, I can hit hard. Pure Power makes this a base 120 attack stat. Double that with probably the strongest fighting type move in the game, being High Jump Kick. There isn't really much wanting to take it. I just get access to Bullet Punch, another form of priority, along with Gourgeist, Shadow Sneak, and Mamoswine's Ice Shard, which is pretty nice. I get Drain Punch, I get Fake Out Support, I have all the elemental punches, which is really nice. I get Low Kick, I get Poison Jab for those fairy types as well, Psycho Cut, Zen Headbutt. So it's pretty nice, and it has okay, my King myself doesn't have great stats, but it's workable. Definitely workable, which I'm pretty happy about. Base 75 isn't great, but I can take at least a few hits, which is really nice. At this point, as you can see, I'm slowly dipping down into speed tier, so I kind of go back up, and I grab one of the few remaining electric types that were, in my eyes, fast. That was being Heliolisk. I wanted Galvantula. Sadly, I didn't get it, so I got Heliolisk. Heliolisk is faster, stronger in the special attack. Special defense is better. I'm pretty sure it has a higher HP stat. I'm pretty positive. Actually, I can check that right now. Base 70. 60. Nope, I lied about that. Gourgeist has a higher HP stat than Heliolisk. Look, we learned something new. Really great scar for specs users. Pretty surprising. This gives me an immunity to water types, so I'm pretty set on water types since I have a Tentacruel right now. I have a Megalodios, a Gourgeist, and now this thing. So I don't think any water types are coming in against my team. Thunderbolt's pretty hard. I get access to agility, so again, if I get speed on Heliolisk, kind of like Medicham, it has the stats to make it a potential wall breaker, so that something like a Megalodios, Mamoswine, Tornadus can come and sweep, or this can be a sweeper. A +2 Heliolisk is quite scary. Heliolisk also gets access to Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, which does a good chunk to the dragon types in my division. Gets access to Glare and Thunder Wave. Gets Grass Knot, Hyper Voice, Stab, and Normal type, which is pretty great. Gets access to Quick Attack. Pretty dismal attack stab, but hey, if this is a Sash user and it outspeeds me, I'm going to click Quick Attack if I ever bring it. Signal Beam, which is pretty great. Surf as well, which is really nice. It gets access to both Volt Turn. And if I ever wanted to bring it offensively, on the physical side, I have Wild Charge, which is probably never going to happen, but knowing people, they're going to ask me to bring a physical Heliolisk 1 week and a Scalding Embor. Still have yet to do that. Talking about Scald and water type moves, my next pick was Feraligatr. No, it's not a move, sadly, because that'd be a pretty dope move. Feraligatr, I realize at this point, I don't really have a offensive water type. And to a degree, offensive water types are just as important as defensive water types. If you can grab one like a Vaporeon, which has really high special attack, then you're really good. Another thing I've noticed, I don't really have a setup sweeper. I have the Heliolisk, but it's not going to be considered a setup sweeper. It's more likely a wall breaker. I have a Megalodios with Dragon Dance, but that's situational depending on the set I bring. Feraligatr is probably always going to be the same exact set. It's probably always going to be Life Orb, maybe Lumberry if need be, with Sheer Force, Life Orb, Sheer Force, pretty powerful already. Attach that to Waterfall, as well as a max attack Adamant Feraligatr that's hitting at 339 base attack, which is pretty scary already. Attach that to Sheer Force and Life Orb. Waterfall is pretty powerful. I think it's close to like a 180 base power. If you add Stab, Sheer Force, and Life Orb boosts to it, which is pretty amazing. Feraligatr also gets access to Dragon Dance, also gets access to Swords Dance, so offensively, it's pretty scary. Dragon Dance, it really helps with the dismal speed tier of Feraligatr being 78, which makes Feraligatr a little bit easier to counter, but after I get one Dragon Dance up, for the most part, Feraligatr should be fine, so it's not too bad. I had access to Crunch, I get access to Ice Punch, Ice Fang, which is really nice. I get Aqua Jet. I'm really set on priority at this stage. I also get Earthquake. I get a lot of coverage moves that are really nice. I get out Break. I get Super Power. So for alligators, pretty all set. My last mon, I really didn't know I was going to go for. I noticed I definitely needed a steel type, but after being sniped Klefki in round 6, I was like, you know what, screw the steel type. The steel fairy, as great as Klefki is with Prankster T-Wave, I'm not going to take it. It's fine. So I was like, by this point I was like, no, I definitely have to grab a steel type. With getting both the Lottie twins and Kieran Black in my division, it's pretty fair. The Sinnoh division is home of the dragons, which is pretty obnoxious to deal with. So I was like, I need a steel type. There's already a Skarmory. There aren't many great steel types left. I think there's only like 2 of them. One of them being Dual Blade. Like, Skarmory was gone. Registeel was gone. Magnezone was picked up. I didn't want Magneton because I just grabbed Heliolisk. And I didn't want the 4 times weakness to ground, even though I have the double immunity. So I went for a tier 4. Even though I had enough for a tier 3 mod, steel type being Doublade, I went for tier 4 Escavalier. Escavalier being extremely great. Looking at its stats, 135 attack and 105 in both defenses. I can AV this, give this an Assault Vest, max HP, max defense, and it's gonna live. HP fires don't do much. They do like 60% to 80% depending on what uses it, which is pretty amazing for this mod. Sometimes I actually had to debate this being the better Scizor only because of the stat distribution, because it's more bulky. Its stats help it more. Doesn't need a special attack. Doesn't really need the speed if it's this bulky. Scizor has that bulk, but it also has that speed, so it kind of makes it weak for both. This Mon gets the best of both worlds, I would say. Not speed, but you know what, whatever. Trick Room will not be brought against me because of this Mon. Escavalier Assault Vest. I can choice band this. This thing hits so hard with choice band. I have 135 base attack with Mega Horn choice banded. Nothing's really living. Escavalier is bulky enough that leftovers can easily work with defenses. Leftovers, Life Orb, I can run. Rocky. I mean, if I really wanted to, I can bring a defensive Escavalier, max HP, max defense, Rocky Helmet, or AV. I can run Ockaberry, I know that's pretty common. Moves, Mega Horn. I can't spell Mega Horn for my life, looks like today. Mega Horn is pretty powerful. There's Drill Run, which is really great for those electric types, and especially the fire types that really scare me out. If I can ever live one, that is. I can kill them with Drill Run or do massive damage. Stab Iron Head fairy types are not a problem on this team anymore due to this thing's absurd offensive steel type move. Especially since most fairy types are especially defensive, like Florges, Sylveon, they're more especially defensive than they are physically. They're definitely going to be switching out on a Escavalier. Even if they hold an HP fire, I can probably live one without any investment, which is pretty nice. This gets knock off. I get Poison Jab, because fairies are dead basically against Escavalier. I get a Pursuit. I have a Pursuit Trapper right here. The slowest Mon on my team is a Pursuit Trapper. So those Lotties, hey, they're going to be scared of that Mega Horn. They're going to forget about Pursuit. Which is really nice. Gets X Scizor. I get Swords Dance. Can you imagine? I just thought about that. Cuss-Stat Berry Swords Dance. Sadly, I don't get Sturdy or anything. But instead of Sturdy, I get Shell Armor, which is really great for a defensive variant, or I can go Overcoat. which is really great for mons like Amoonguss, Stun Spore, any of those type of moves. Like, Escavalier just like, okay, whatever. Don't even give a shit about all this. Honestly. So, Escavalier, I'm pretty happy about it. Wasn't planning on drafting him at all. But now that I did draft him, I'm super excited to use him. Like, I can't wait to use him at all. Like, the way he gets used in Draft League just blows my mind how well he is. Especially on this team. I definitely have that fire covered. Might need a little bit more, but I think I have fire covered. So that is my team for Season 1 of WWDL. Hope you guys enjoy. See you next time. Hope you enjoy the season. Goodbye, guys.